Welcome back. Now, Chisa nyama is a way of life for many in the township, and for some, it's a big money spinner. One such man is former taxi driver turned Chisa nyama king, Dallas Mathebula.
Dried meat on a Sunday is a must-do in the township, and in some instances, even a traditional affair. We are in Zandspruit, west of Johannesburg, to taste some mouth-watering nyama and speak to the man behind the spy and braai.
This is just like any other ordinary Chisa nyama that you'll find anywhere in South Africa. When you visit a place like this, your first point of call is coming to buy your fresh meat. Hello, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good, good. Can I please get some chicken, some sausage, and some beef, please?
For how much?
For about 50 Rand.
Started 7 years ago, Dallas Mathebula's business has grown into somewhat of a gold mine. Previously a taxi owner, Mathebula says he wanted to give back to his community. And what better way, he says, than opening Motswako.
Well, our meat has now been braaied, and we are sitting here with the owner of Motswako to just tell us about the business, really, how this whole concept came about.
I've started this concept of a Chisa nyama in 2008. I'm from the taxi business. I have decided, no, let me quit the taxi business. I must come and try something that is sustainable. And then something came up with the Chisa nyama concept, and then I've started to open this one.
What makes Motswako different?
Motswako different is, Judy, you will taste our meat. We are braaiing with the wood, and we don't use too much salt in our meat. We've got our secret spice that we are using. I won't reveal it to you.
And he won't reveal his profits either. All Mathebula will say is that Motswako is a healthy business that he wants to franchise.
To own a business, you have to be there, you have to be hands-on. You can't just own a thing, a business, so that you must go and drive a German's car. So you have to be with your guys. I'm here always here. I'm open 7 o'clock with my guys here. We are cleaning here for 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We're open for the public. I'm hands-on. I'm sweeping the floors here.
Motswako has seen many local celebrities drop by the braai spot. And the one Dallas Mathebula is most proud of is the visit by First Lady Umangwema Zuma. Jody Jacobs, Johannesburg.
Well, it's one thing owning a small business or being a young entrepreneur, but that comes with some form of responsibility. One such responsibility is, of course, paying the taxman. So joining us on Moneyline this evening is Richard Tanner from Zulu Business Management to speak to us about taxation for small businesses. Richard, thanks so much for your time. Today, paying tax, very important for any business, but who should be paying?
So everyone who's running a business obviously earns income, and all income is taxable in terms of South African law. So fundamentally, all businesses should register for tax and should pay tax.
Okay, so let's talk about the process, because obviously there's different types of businesses. You could be a sole proprietor, you could be in a partnership, you could be running a private or a public company. How does it work?
So the Tax Act itself doesn't differentiate between the different legal forms of a business as such. It recognizes any business. The tax return you have to fill in differs, but the tax itself stays the same, and the tax rates do vary obviously between an individual, but you're still liable for tax overall and income tax, essentially.
So if you are a small business then, how do we define small businesses in South Africa, and how are they treated under the Tax Act?
All the acts vary slightly in terms of how they define small businesses, and there's a turnover-based small business tax, which is the SARS starting off point for tax, and then straight after that you end up in income tax for the business itself, and VAT. Once you're over R1 million, then you have to register for VAT and charge VAT, and obviously pay that VAT over to SARS. And other than that, the next tax to talk about is you have to register, once you have employees, you have to register for PAYE and UIF so that you can withhold that money from your employees and pay that money over to SARS. And that's really to regularize your employees' tax affairs, and you're just acting as an agent of SARS in that regard.
Okay, so let's talk specifically about employee tax, because this is where things sometimes get quite murky for a lot of businesses. The moment you hire people in your business, what should you have in place?
Yes. So when you hire people, you need to register for UIF, and UIF really protects the employee. So if something goes wrong in your business, you're killed tomorrow in a car crash, heaven forbid, that person is going to be unemployed. At least if you've paid your UIF, they can go to the unemployment insurance fund and they can claim unemployment insurance. UIF is payable for all employees regardless of their salary level.
Okay.
And then once employees have reached over the limit changes every year, it's currently 67,000 Rand, then that person needs to pay PAYE, and you as a business owner need to withhold that PAYE. So PAYE stands for pay as you earn, and that is effectively income tax on the employee.
Okay, and that's got to be done and make sure that it's registered and you are compliant with that. And VAT for small businesses?
So small businesses can voluntarily register for VAT if they turn over more than 70,000 Rand in a year. And businesses trying to do business with bigger corporates often do register for VAT, as it seems to give them stature. Or otherwise, if they are buying a lot of goods and they've got a lot of VAT claims to make, then it can be beneficial for them to register for VAT.
What advice would you give small businesses when it comes to keeping records for tax purposes? I know I struggle every year when I file my tax return and having to look through and find all of the documentation that's needed.
For a small business, I think if you keep it clean to begin with, you're never going to have any problems. But as soon as you start letting things slide, or just skip this month, or any of those little things, then suddenly catching up and fixing it becomes a problem. And so really my advice would be keep all your documents together, keep it clean, talk to an accountant, go to SARS for help. SARS does have good guides and will help you. So make sure if you keep it clean to start with, you're never going to have any problems.
Okay. Well, we heard from Dallas, our Chisa nyama owner in the insert there, that he's looking at franchising, for example. Does that complicate things when it comes to tax?
When one wants to, not necessarily tax itself, but when you want to franchise, you have to start having disclosure documents. You have to start showing that you are tax compliant. You have to have accounting records to show the prospective franchisees, look, this is how much money you're going to make. So you do need accounting records, which usually lead into tax records. And also, if you're going to have to complete any sort of tax returns, you have to have some form of accounting records. And fundamentally, without accounting records, you're not going to know how much money your business makes.
So now, when it comes specifically to the formal and the informal sector, there's a perception in this country that people in the informal sector generally run away from the taxman and they don't pay tax. What's your sense when you're watching the landscape?
I think that is fairly fair, and then there is quite an administrative burden. Even myself as a small business owner, like every month we have to sit down and do our own accounts and do our own tax. So it's not that simple to actually register for tax, and the process is to go about doing it. It does require a certain bulk and scale, and my sense would be that yes, the informal sector probably does run away from tax.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks for your time today. Richard Tanner is with Phezulu Business Management. It's a place where money doesn't seem to matter. The Super Yachts Top 100 being held in the United Kingdom showcases some of the world's most extravagant yachts. Some even come equipped with their own helicopter pads and jungles.
This is an industry where size matters. Meet the Azam. At 181 meters, it's longer than 12 double-decker buses. And a third year running, holder of one of the most coveted titles on the ocean. The Super Yachts Top 100, an annual unveiling of the largest yachts in the world, and a place where swimming pools, helicopters and even jungles are part of the furniture. One yacht even boasts an ice climbing wall, another a handcrafted mahogany tree 4 stories high. Suppliers and manufacturers say requests from clients are getting even more extravagant.
They're not anchoring in the same bay, but they'd like to join each other for lunch. So they say, I'd like a helicopter platform for my son's helicopter, I'd like a helicopter platform for my helicopter, a garage for that helicopter, but then of course my friends must be able to arrive by helicopter. We're building an airport, you know.
There was a time when 50 meters would be held in high regard, but that's now just a drop in the ocean. The smallest yacht here measures over 78 meters, and this year saw 7 new vessels enter the rankings, a testament to the industry's strength.
A large part of the market was driven by demand from Russian clients. They clearly are in a different position now than, let's say, 2 years ago. The cost in ruble to buy a yacht has more or less doubled, which is reaching limits that are possibly prohibitive.
Despite the economic woes, orders are flooding in from elsewhere, including rumors of a 200-meter-long super yacht, which, if true, means the Azam's days at the top could be numbered.
That's how the other half lives. Our daily question and answer feature up next. Stay with us.